Hey, what's going on, guys? Long time no see. Today we're going to be doing a video on Granblue Fantasy Versus in the recent patch that came out with Sora's and Jita. We've been enjoying Sora's and Jita greatly. Now it's time to talk about the patch. There has been a few adjustments made to the game, and I want to talk about all of them, including the characters and what they did with other modes and other things as well. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here we are in the lab. We're going to be taking a look at the characters that got changed, first and foremost. Now, not every character got changed, only a select few, but these changes that they implemented definitely make a difference for these characters. They're quality of life changes that I think were very well deserved. We're going to be taking a look at all of them. First, starting off with Percival. Now, the two major changes that they made to him that were definitely the best ones is going to be his anti-air change and his petrify change. His anti-air change, what they basically did is they made it better, hitbox-wise. So there's the hitbox and there's the hurtbox. So they lowered the hurtbox and they raised the hitbox, which basically means that if Gran tries to anti-air me like that, you see how I got hit there, that's my hurtbox. So that's what Gran is trying to hit. Now, they lowered that, so it's a lot harder for Gran to hit me out of my anti-air. Before, it was a lot higher, so it was easily hit out of. Well, not easily, but it definitely, against strong jumping normals, it definitely lost a lot. Now, and they also, alongside that, they increased the hitbox, which means that they increased the box where Percival hits the person out of the air. So, overall, they just made it better. So, if, like, Gran tries to come at me at all, I am going to anti-air him pretty much every time. And knowing Percival with his crazy good anti-air combos, this is a fantastic change. Nice quality of life change, of course. So this is very welcomed. Then we have Petrify. And what they did to Petrify is that they added more hit stun. And if you don't know what Petrify does, it's of course a command grab-like move where if you land it, they go in a crumple state where you can combo off of it. Normally, what they would do mid-screen is they would do, you know, like a far 5M into a DP or something like that. So adding more hits, then what it does is basically they stay on the ground longer. So Gran is going to stay on the ground longer after this patch, or, you know, during this patch, I should say. So now he can connect things like far 5H. That was not possible before. And in the corner, whenever you do Petrify, you can do really cool routes that used to be really hard, but now are very consistent. Moving on to the next character, and we have Beelzebub, and his change was that they changed his skill icon to match every other reversal icon. So basically, this move right here used to have a different icon than what you see right now. As you can see on the top left, you see a shield being pierced by an arrow or something like that. That is basically the icon that represents reversals, invincible reversals. That was not like that before, so now they changed it to the appropriate icon. And that's it. That's all he got. Alright, now we're moving on to Vasa, and let me tell you, this man got a little bit of love this patch, that's for damn sure. So let's go right into the changes. The first change is going to be close 5H. That is now safe on block. It used to be -8, I believe, or -9, one of those two, but now it's -4. Now -4. So now it is super safe on block, which is nice. It allows for some meaty setups, which is great. It leaves him on plus frames, which is awesome. The next change is going to be with 2U. 2U now has less recovery. They reduced the recovery frames. So now it went from -15 to -12, I believe, which is always nice. It's always nice to have a safer button, of course. It reduces the risk of using it. The next one is going to be 2H. 2H, they actually reduced the recovery as well, and they lowered the initial hurt box, which means that it's a lot harder to hit this button or hit him out of this anti-air. Also, they reduced the recovery, which I think it went from I believe, 16 or 17 to -13. And it's also a lot harder to hit out of when they try to jump in on you, which is great. So that means it's a more consistent anti-air. The next one is going to be with JM. JM actually has a faster startup, which now means it comes out faster, which is great because this is such a great, fantastic aerial normal, especially to play neutral with and to jump in with. So this is a great buff to this move for sure. The next one is going to be with Soulforge, which is his unique special, or unique attack, I should say. It has faster startup, which means that it comes out faster. The armor activates earlier. If you don't know, this does have a hitbox, which means that if they try to come at me at all, the armor activates a lot earlier. So if they try to hit me at all, just like that, then the armor comes out quicker. So now he can armor more consistently when he uses this move. The next one is going to be Battalion of Fear, which is, of course, his lunge. This right here. Now, this is a universal change that they did throughout the patch. They basically made it so whenever you hold back, it's a charge move. So you have to hold back and then forward and then press the button. That's how you do it. The technical input, I should say. Before, you were able to hold back and then press like down, leave your joystick down, and then it will still come out. Or just go like neutral and it will still come out. Now it's a lot stricter. So now you have to end your motion in 6. So in order for it to come out, which is great because there would be some accidental lunges being done as a Vasaraga player. And they did this, of course, with Zeta, with Vasaraga, and with Charlotta this patch. So that's a great change, of course, making it a little bit stricter. The next one's going to be Bloody Moon, which is his Scart. Now, Scart, this move actually got faster. And it no longer is in counter hit state when recovering from this move, which means that this was one of the few supers that whenever you actually whiffed it or somebody blocked it, just like that, Vasaraga was in counter hit state the entire time, which was really weird. So they changed that. He's no longer in counter hit state. And of course, that faster startup, which means that it just comes out faster, which is nice because that could be a really good way for you to go through fireballs now, which is great. And that's all of the changes. Definitely the anti-air change, the close 5H change, and of course the Soul Forge change are always welcomed. Now we're going to be moving on to Zeta, and alongside Vasaraga, she got a pretty good amount of changes, and for the better too. So the first one's going to be Far 5M, 2M, and Close 5H all got their recovery reduced. So now this went from -9 to -6. This went to -4 from -6. And this went from -2 to -4 from -8. So safer frame data across the board. It's freaking great. She had probably the worst frame data in the game right next to Luane. And now she doesn't have to worry about that anymore. So now she has better meaties, and she can now combo counter hit 5H into another 5H, which is awesome. So great change there. The next one's going to be 2H. Anti-air change, just like Percival. So if Gran were to anti-air me, I can hit him out of it a lot easier, and it's a lot harder for Gran to hit me out of it. So exact same change as Percival. They reduced the hurt box, and then they increased the hit box. The next change is going to be similar to Vasaraga's and Charlotta's change, where she would get accidental lunges all the time. Whenever you dash up to them and you go back to the neutral position, the lunge would still come out, resulting in a accidental lunge, and that would be the death of Zeta pretty much. So they fixed this by making it a little bit stricter. So now the input has to end in the 6th position for you to actually get the special move. It's a lot better because it reduces the chance of getting an accidental lunge, which is awesome. So that's that. The next change to the lunge, but that's right, there's 2 changes. There's the input change and also the startup change. They actually made this faster. So now there's new combos off of her lights. For example, this was not possible before, which is awesome. This is a fantastic change. And also, it's a lot easier to confirm 2M into lunge without actually dropping, which is great. I love this change so much because it just opens up more combos for her, and now she doesn't have to spend meter by doing EX lunge anymore. So now she can just do this, which is great. That's a fantastic change. And then the next change is going to be to her air lunges, going up and going down. So this or this. They actually added a hitbox behind her. They expanded upon it. So now it hits a lot easier from behind, just like that. As you can see, she now has a bigger hitbox, so she can now hit people from behind her a lot easier now, which is great. So that's pretty much all of Zeta's changes, though. Overall, way better character now. I'm investing in Zeta stocks, that's for sure. Now let's take a look at Luane. He got a few different changes, such as Far 5M and Close M got their recovery reduced. So now Close 5M is safe on block, and Far 5M is safer on block, I should say. I think it went from like -8 or 9 to -6. It's a lot harder to punish now. People used to punish this pretty often if they did not cancel into a special move or something like that. Not the greatest change, but it's a good change. either or. So the next change is probably the best change for Luane. It's going to be his 2H. His anti-air actually comes out a lot quicker, so he can hit people out of the air a lot better now. It's still not the best anti-air. It just went from absolutely garbage to being okay. Next character is going to be Matera, and Matera got some few changes. She's got a anti-air change just like everybody else. So her 1H and her 2H actually got better. The hitbox is expanded. Actually, 2H had a bigger hitbox, so it was a lot better to hit people out of the air. 1H actually had a worse hitbox. So now that they expanded 2H, they actually normalized 1H so it can match 2H. So now you can basically hit people out of the air a lot easier with 1H and 2H. So that's the first change with Matera, which is great. The next one's going to be with her butterflies. Her butterflies before pre-patch, as you can see, she's in recovery, right? And it is in cooldown, I should say, the butterflies. So before patch, what happened was whenever it was in cooldown and you blew up a butterfly, it would reset the cooldown system. So you would have to wait for the cooldown to happen all over again. So they actually changed this, so now instead of actually resetting the cooldown, it just pauses, and then when the butterfly blows up, it keeps going from where it left off, which is great because it was a real pain as a Matera player. Whenever you threw out butterflies, you blew one up, and you have to pretty much wait an entire other cycle for the butterfly to come back. So that's a great change. All right, last but not least is going to be Lada, and she got the exact same change as Vasa, as I mentioned before. So now, before patch, before you could actually hold the charge for her barrel roll, and if you went to the 2 position or even the neutral position, you would still get the move. So now the input is a little bit stricter, so you have to leave your input in the 6th position for the move to be able to come out, resulting in sometimes that would result in accidental inputs, so that kind of prevents that now, which is great, just like Vasa and just like Zeta. And that's it. That's all the Lada changes. Alright, so now that we're done with the characters, let's move on to other miscellaneous things that they changed in this patch. For example, they made a UI update with the ranked matches. Now you'll be able to see the number of stars that you gain from a victory match in the entry screen, which is great. You can see your progress right from the get-go when you enter a ranked match, as well as they changed the different colors for whenever you go up or you're about to rank up and you're in that little session of gaining wins to be able to rank up to the next rank. You can actually see a different color with your diamonds. It's now a red instead of blue. And they also fix a little bit of a mistype. Before, you had to win well, to rank up in general, you have to win 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 to get to the next rank. And it would say win 5 out of 4 or win 5 out of 3 or something like that to be able to get to the next rank. Now they fixed that. Now it says 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5. So that's great. Alright guys, that's going to be it for all the changes that they implemented in this recent mini patch. Now, of course, they didn't update too much. They just updated a few characters, which, by the way, definitely deserved all these different changes. And of course, some different miscellaneous changes, and of course, some bug fixes and updates to the skins and such. But either way, this was a mini patch to prepare us for the bigger patches coming out later on this month when Zoe comes out. So I'm preparing for that, and I'm probably going to be making a wish list for the different changes. For example, the one that I'm heading for right now and I'm begging for them to change is the fact that we cannot see ping display. We cannot see each other's ping whenever you enter the lobbies. That is something that needs to be implemented, and that has to be done in the next April patch, because my god, it is such an essential thing to have. How could you have an oversight like this, Side Games? I don't know. Either way, let me know what you think of the patch notes. Let me know what you think of the different changes. Were you surprised at some of the changes? Were these deserved? I know that other characters deserved other changes, but be patient. The later patch is coming out around, I imagine, the 30th or the 27th, I believe. I cannot remember. It is definitely later on this month. I'll keep updating you guys as more information comes out. Either way, let me know what you guys think. Like the video if you guys did. Subscribe to the channel for more Granblue Fantasy Versus, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.